Why, hello everyone, and welcome to the stream. So happy to see you all. Hello, Michael, the master of memes. Hello, Cute Gamer Grill. Hello, Ryan. Hello, Alistair Nia. Hello, Eris. Hello, Labcoat Cosplay. Welcome, everyone. I hope you're all having a fantastic Wednesday. My Wednesday's been pretty darn good. Um, Also, I appreciate everybody who comes by these streams and does my silly little art practice time, as well as the character design stuff. Means a lot to me, so I appreciate it. The dealio for today is, or I should probably do the traditional intro. What is on the agenda for tonight? Well, first of all, gender is a social construct. Secondly, we are going to be doing some, just classic warm up practice. And then we're going to try doing some character design for the second of my NPC companions for my upcoming D&D campaign once Ashes of the Last War is done. Also, thank you to everybody who watches Ashes of the Last War, as well as those of you who watch the VODs on YouTube. It means a lot to me. I really like that people are into my campaign and the wacky adventures of my hilariously sad disaster buys. um, so yeah. So tonight is also going to be, as a part of the character design, it's going to be my first time drawing a boy. I have not drawn a boy yet in any of my art practice because I was like, I just draw the milkers. That's what I do here. I just want to draw cute girls all day, every day. However, hello, Roselia. Yeehaw. All right, Roselia, give me 1 second. Time is now 6:37. All right, so this will be my first time drawing a boy because I can't just have all of the NPC companions be big titty waifus, as much as I may be inclined for such things. No, so I decided to have one of them be a boy. I gotta have the one token boy amidst all of my hot bitches to be some variety to the spice of life. So the plan is this character is named. I got to do the full name for y'all because I'm very proud of how silly it is. So this character is. I'll start with what the pitch is for him. So the character is a teenage dragon who is basically a wormling dragon who has decided that he wants to be a great hero. And so he is traveling the world, being a champion of justice, living his life as a shonen protagonist, trying to be defeating all the strongest foes, proving he's just the most powerful around, as well as fighting for truth and justice along the way. Of course, he is also a giant himbo, head empty, only justice. So he is, in the canon of the game, he is going to be a half mithril dragon, half adamantium dragon. Mostly so that he can have this wonderful purple silver hair, is what I'm designing for him. And so if you don't know, in most D&D games, dragons have usually one or two names. They've got usually like a nickname that's been given to them by the populace, like, I don't know, like Dunkelzane or, Radiant Flame, something along those lines. But they usually also have an incredibly long and very silly to pronounce draconic name as well. So I've decided, as is my tradition, to give him a very long and silly draconic name, which just gets abbreviated down into what we would say is a normal person name in the grand scheme of things. So his full name is Lunys Varnasorava, which is, I believe, like 15 characters long. Lunys Varnasorava. and or I'm debating between Vanasorva or Lunyasil Varnavorica. But you can just call him Lunys. His original name was like Soliasil Var something or another. Varnastraza, I think. But and however, one of the characters is gonna be named Salil, so I felt like having Solus and Salil in the same party may be a little confusing, so I decided to rename him from a sun to a moon. Hey Yanni, welcome, welcome. You want some of them gremlin noises? Well, that can be arranged. There you go. Oh, there you go. Some silly gremlin noises from me to you. I hope you enjoyed them, Yanni. How you doing tonight, sugar? I'll spell it in chat for y'all. For this incredibly silly name. So it is Lunys. Lunys Lunyasil Varna Sorava. There you go. That is in fact the full spelling of his name. Lunyasil Varna Sorava. And also, in the context of the setting, dragons are basically like living nuclear weapons. So if you are a draconic citizen of one of the major industrialized nations, they basically assign a particular like CIA agent who is your case file worker. And with that, we have our 5 minutes of Southern Goth mommy time over. Hello, Lady Lilith, the Mother of Dark. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for the follow. So dragons have like a case file worker who's in charge of monitoring them, basically making sure that they don't do anything as a potential threat to national security. So because this guy is a literal himbo dragon running around like up to hijinks, he has an incredibly overworked and like sleep deprived caseworker who will be like a reoccurring NPC, not an NPC companion, but just an NPC. So I thought that would be funny to add to that. Yeehaw! But yeah, so I hope so we're gonna do some design for him. The initial ref images I've gathered together are for Crom from Fire Emblem. I felt like he has like a look that I would like to work as like the base for Lunys, but we'll see. We'll see how it develops. Like the way that PAX developed, who I'm actually probably just gonna rename to Omega, which is their third overarching personality identity. The Nanite Swarm NPC companion developed pretty well from when I started drawing them. So I'm I hope to have a similar thing happen with Lunys, and then I have to figure out what the remaining two companions are going to be. But that's a future Obsidia problem. But yeah, so that's the plan. I've got some sweet tunes by The Last Seahorse ready to play. But before we do, The Last Seahorse and all of their glory of DJ music, I wanted to highlight some Obsidia greatest hits songs that I've posted before in my Discord. But, I feel like we're going to go chance some DCMA action here by I want to play you some bangers. So first of all, this song, I'm going to give you some historical context for why I love this song. So, when I was in law school, the Dragon and Caseworker definitely did have annoyance to friends to lovers arc. Yes, the dragon is going to be totally head empty. He is just going to be just, I am himbo Chad, nothing but justice. And I'm thinking of maybe making, if I don't do a goblin NPC companion, I'm probably going to have his caseworker be a goblin girl. Just, goblin short stacks have to be in every Obsidia campaign. So, Yeah, Lunys is just going to be totally dumb, which is great because another one of the player characters is going to be a satyr bimbo wizard. So you're going to have the dragon himbo and the satyr bimbo. Ayo? But yeah, so when I was in law school, before I've said I'm sitting April Fool meme early. Oh no! Oh no! Michael's trying to put a bamboozle on me. But when I was in law school, before every one of my finals for all 3 years, I would do 2 things ritually. One was I would get a single Monster Energy can, which I would drink during the final. Secondly, I would play this song from Mad World called Ain't That Funny, which was originally, I got it from a League of Legends comedy video by Seth about how to play Spawn Karthus, which I thought was the funniest thing when I was in law school because I was a big League player back then. So this song is nothing but pure hype. That is how I describe it. It is just so good for the hype. So I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I do as I'm looking for my stylus. Where did I put it? Nunny? Meow? Oh, there it is. I'm sitting on it. I was like, where's my stylus for my tablet? So here we go. Let me know if it's too loud or anything. I made me listen to boss things.
Look around, tell me what do you see? A lunatic now, get like me. It's a rap by the count of 3, and it's all being filmed on Shock TV. Yeah, it's me, I'ma do my best to rip your chest, make of your flesh, stand on your neck, fat my check. I don't really care if I got your respect. I just slaughter, don't be bothered. Watch where you step, it might be hot water. You oughta pay me now, cause right now it's about to go down. You gotta get paid, more cash, I'm out of this game. It's crazy, I get more money by killing these fools now, ain't that funny? You gotta get paid, more cash, I'm out of this game. It's crazy, I get more money by killing these fools now, ain't that funny? Jack, he's a psychomaniac, that's right, it's death on sight. It don't matter who's wrong or right, I just might catch you slipping. Getting paid is my intuition and my ambition. It's the run the city of the siege, more death, more cheese. Gotta get the paper, with Jamaica, and these boys from the Undertaker. And ain't no shortage, okay, we laid off. In fact, rest in chaos. I get paid, more cash, I'm out of this game. It's crazy, I get more money by killing these fools now, ain't that funny? I get paid, more cash, I'm out of this game. It's crazy, I get more money by killing these fools now, ain't that funny? Look around, tell me what do you see? A lunatic now, get like me. It's a rap by the count of 3, and it's all being filmed on Shock TV. Yeah, it's me, I'ma do my best to rip to your chest, make of your flesh, dangle your neck, fatten my check. I don't really care if I got your respect. I just slaughter, don't be bothered. Watch where you step, it might be hot water. You oughta pay me now, cause right now it's about to go down.
So that's what I call a straight fucking banger. Yeah, I used to be the saltiest League player and law student when I was in law school. It was an awful combination. That's why I don't play League anymore. That game just makes me like irrationally angry. Alright, so with that being said, now we can go to your regularly scheduled Seahorse EDM BGM. And if I feel the need to drop more banger bombshells on your heads, I will do such as the time requires it. Also, can we just identify that is I drew a pretty darn straight line. Not gonna lie, pretty darn straight line. I've been tempted in Nintendo's League of Legends. What's Nintendo? Oh, you mean Pokemon? What is it called? Pokemon I don't remember the Pokemon game. Shoot. Ah, darn it. Pressed it too many times. Oh, Unite. Yeah, that was it. Pokemon Unite. I'm happy to hear that people are still playing that because I know a lot of the hype around it kind of died out over the last, you know, I don't know, like year or so. Ugh, arms cramping. Krampus hours. Close. Close enough. Good enough for government work. But yeah, so currently for the D&D game I'm planning, we've got the Bimbo Sheep Girl, and then there's gonna be a character that is related to my Eberron campaign, despite the fact that two campaigns are not like intertwined in any way. Because my next campaign is a homebrew world, but we have decided through the power of the multiverse to tie in a character from Ashes of the Last War into my next game. So they're thinking of being a blood hunter for that character, which is I did my very first time looking at the blood hunter class. It is interesting. I don't totally understand it yet, but it didn't seem like broken to me per se. So like I'm not like, no, you can't be a blood hunter. But yeah, so it's like I gotta think about it. Think about how it's gonna be. And then, hey Geronimo, welcome. How you doing? How are you feeling from the COVID? Are you feeling better? Almost. All right. Oh, too far. But yeah, so I'm still trying to figure out the other companions. I have like, because I am of course a violent simp, I've got like the waifu classes that I'm curious to do, but it's deciding which of all of these waifu ideas I'm going to actually make as the core companion characters. Just breathing issues? Blah. Blah. Yes, we're doing practice lines. I'm just doing warm-up exercises, drawing lines. So I'm doing my warm-up stuff, and then we're going to be doing character design for a Dragon Boy for a D&D game. So I've got like, there's Hellhound Tiefling Girl. That's an example of one of the races. Phoenix Fire Ganassi Girl. Goblin Short Stack always. Giant Cowgirl, because you know how Obsidia feels about milky stacked cow women. It's just who I am. And then also, what's it called? Also, giant poison ivy-like woman. I have a race of plant people. Like Furbolgs in my game are all plant people, because I feel like there is a lack of plant people in D&D. And so I said, reality can be whatever I want it to be.
That city will be a reality, and we will be crowned its
Yeah, Yardy, I'm just like, this is just a part of warm-ups, is doing the two things I always do is lines and circles to just kind of practice, because I'm trying to get better at doing them, and it's hard because I'm not what we like to call good at things. Whoop, too far. So the trick about this one exercise is clever played touch grass, no doubt. You're goddamn right, Alistair Nia. Like the example of the ideal plant person. Hey, Weedy Bread, thank you for the lurk. I appreciate it. I also appreciate you. I appreciate that, Yarny. I'm trying. I've been really bad. I spent like $500 on an art course, and I have been in the status of cannot be bothered to sit down for watching a 3-hour video. Like, I feel so bad, but it's like it's so much fucking time, and unlike with me like watching YouTube shows or something, like I actually have to pay attention like fully to the whole explanation and everything, and it kills me. So like I haven't been doing it, is the moral of the story. So instead I've just said fuck it, I've just been drawing. I've been using the rationale of I'm just learning by drawing more. Only takes a year of moderate practice to get good. I wish to be as good as Cute Gamer Grill one day. I love the picture that she drew of me. It's very cute. I also need to commission, it's two things. I need to commission some NSFW art of Dark Phoenix Obsidia, because, like, after I got the ref sheet made of her tattoos, which was honestly, like, the biggest thing that was stopping me from getting artwork of her in like different outfits and stuff. I feel like morally obligated to get some NSFW artwork. Hey Owen, welcome. So that's one thing, and then secondly, once Spooky Bean is opening commissions again, I'm gonna get an actual just ref sheet of her wearing clothes, so I can, I don't know, do nefarious things. Like get another 3D model that I don't use because I don't like to wear clothes when I stream. Ah. Speaking of which, for anybody who uses a 3D model on stream with like hand tracking and everything, I know what Yarny does, but Yarny's system doesn't work for me. Like, do you have like a better way to do the tracking for your hands and stuff than using a leap motion? Because I find my leap motion is not very good for like me. Like, I'm not very good at using it, and I feel like it has a lot of tracking issues with me. But, I would have to say one of the coolest things about starting doing all of this art stuff is that, like, there is something profoundly rewarding about, A, seeing your art get better, period. Like, when I see, even the stuff I don't like about what I did with the Dark Sakura, piece that I did, the 3DI has a much bigger field of view. Is that like a... Is the 3DI, is that like a different piece, or is that different tech? I mean, is it different hardware or software, Yardy? Cause yeah, the field of view is killing me. But yeah, I'm good, Owen. I'm living the dream. I'm working and twerking here. But yeah, so like seeing your art get better, like even the stuff I don't like about the dark Sakura piece that I did, like I just see how phenomenal that was in comparison to some of the other stuff I've done. And like introducing shading and stuff like was huge for like making my art look better. It's kind of astounding what shading will do to make something look better. Even though currently I do shading in like one of the least efficient ways possible because I don't know how to do the better form of shading yet. Well, thank you for the follow, Owen. I appreciate it. So like, I don't know like how actual artists do the shading thing. There's like a brush for it and stuff, and I don't get how to do that. I need to like Google or like YouTube how to do the shading, because one of the problems I have with my art course is the artist who teaches it, he uses Adobe, and I use Clip Studio Paint, and like it's one of those things like, oh yeah, this is like universal and stuff, but it's not. Like the commands and stuff work differently, so I don't get like how to do some of the stuff. So I just need to watch like specific YouTube videos about like what to do with Clip Studio Paint to do that kind of stuff. Shoot. Scribble some lines over to shade. Oh, the, what is that? The cross-hatching thing? I've heard Sif talk about cross-hatching. I don't totally get it because the thing about like drawing the lines is I'm not good at drawing straight lines. So it makes it difficult for that. Like, I'll show you an example of like the incredibly inefficient way that I shade. So we're gonna go with good old Omega that I just drew recently. Okay, so like with the way that like I did Omega over here, like I literally followed a piece of advice that Sif said of like the easiest way to shade is just take a color and then just push it like a couple degrees darker. And so like I took the skin color and then I just made it slightly darker to do the shading over here. Or for like the boob, the illusion of cleavage, I think was actually like the most surprising one for me to kind of stumble onto, was because I was really struggling to like frame the breast properly. So I'm like, I'm just gonna make this a closed top. I'm not gonna give it a boob window. So I just did one color as darker than the base to be like this kind of squiggly design. And then I just made it another color darker to do a squiggly design inside of it. And then a third color darker to do an even squigglier design inside of it. So that's how I did the shading there. And like, so, I was zoomed not where I wanted it. And so like down here, you see I just took these colors that I did up here and just I draw over the one I did previously. And then this is how I just did the shine, was I just made it a couple degrees lighter and then a couple degrees lighter again. This is my first time using like multiple degrees of same color shading. Because with my Sakura piece, I only did one type of shading. Like I just took whatever the base color was and made it slightly darker. But for this one, I actually did darker on darker on darker and then lighter on lighter to try and do the, the various points of where light is hitting and not hitting it. And then something that only is appreciated by me, because you don't really see it in the normal art, is I wanted to do kind of a mesh thing for the other parts of like the top. And so I did this like multi kind of airbrushing thing to give the impression of mesh. And then with the hair, like the way I did the highlighting there was I just took the base color, made it slightly lighter for this, made it even lighter for the bigger shine, and then even lighter for the shinier shine. So that's like my very newbie like shading work, right, that I've started doing. But I'm really happy with how Omega turned out. I would probably, if I could redraw the picture and it not be terrible, I would probably drop the hairline a bit lower to make her head less large, basically. But yeah, I'm really happy with how that turned out. And then you take that versus what I did with Sakura. So you see, for Sakura, I just took whatever was, the base color and then made it slightly darker. And then took it, made it slightly darker, etc. So that's how I did that. So I've gotten this was actually right here was my first attempt at doing shading on shading, because I made it darker in here and then further darker inside of the hairband. And then I made it lighter along the edges of the ribbon. And so that was my first little toe step into doing multi like depth of shading and lightning. Okay. But yeah. So that is how I do it. Whoops, I just shrugged that. Didn't mean to do that. There's always bad apple, Scarth. The seahorse is always here. You just... Oh, I know nothing about the vocabulary. I just do things. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, Grill. I don't know. I'm just trying. I'm trying to do stuff. But that is a very time-consuming process, because I do it, like, area by area, darkening it. So, like, it's not like I just make it dark across the board kind of thing. I have to go, like, individually coloring in each, I think it's called, like, cell shading. Coloring in each part of it to be darker or lighter and stuff. So I would like to as one of my projects, learn how to do, like, the better form of shading. Like, it's like a blending brush kind of thing to shade. But this time tonight, I'm gonna try what you and, like, music and everything were saying with, doing, I think you guys said to do, like, the initial, like, design sketch, you do it at, like, 70% opacity or something, as a way of initially jotting down, like, the design elements, rather than just erasing lines and stuff. So I'm gonna try that tonight, because it'll be my first time doing that. Hey, King Wolfred, welcome, welcome. I don't have a follow age command. God damn it. There we go. It's close enough. That's close enough. But welcome, King Wilfred. How you doing tonight? We're doing some just art warm-up exercises, and then we're gonna get down to some character design. For 1 year, 3 months, and 23 days. How do you know that, Scarth? Oh, is it like something you click on their name or something? You know what's also funny, now that I'm just thinking about it? Like, the artist who does the video, like, lectures and everything, he made a video talking about how you shouldn't be, like, trying to do something for more than 30 minutes in order to, because it's, like, wasted time, and then comes up with a 3-hour fucking video! Which, because of, like, how it is, it doesn't have, like, chapters you can skip to. So it's just like, god damn it, man. Practice what you preach! But it is, like, the videos are good. I just have a very, very hard time sitting down for them. Maybe I, like, low-key have ADD. Alright, well, I feel like that is a sufficient number of lines. I.e., I'm getting bored of drawing lines. So, pen control, today is the 29th. Exit out of that. Alright, so we're gonna do some circles, and then we're just gonna jump right in to doing the initial, like, design work. So... But I hope everybody's doing well tonight. I'm sad there's gonna be no Ashes of the Last War next Monday. Oh, that's pretty good. Because some of the characters are some of the players are going to a concert, so I have to figure out a different stream to do next Monday. Might do Wildermyth or something. Follow the disaster buys more. Or, because Darktide did just release a new patch that added a bunch of new weapons, I might just do that. We might just go kill some heretics. Oh, that was bad. So we might actually have, for like the first time in a while of Obsidia streams, we might actually have like an all gamer week Obsidia. Since we're not gonna have D&D. I'm doing the art stream today, so I'm probably not gonna do an art stream next week. Okay. I didn't connect, but whatever. I would say out of all of these, this guy's pretty good. This guy's pretty good. And this guy's pretty good. So it's not like my best menagerie of circles, but I would say we have a couple winners in there. Okay. So we got our refs. We got our Crom refs. And so I'm told I should do this like 70%. Okay. So this will be interesting. It's my first time trying this. So we're going to try and do design stuff. So one of the key things is, because this is my first boy, I know that you have to do like they generally have like a more defined like chin area, like jawline, I mean. So I got to do it less blendy, more jaw-y. That's the official artistic term for it. Alright, so go. I'll do bigger than that. Alright. And then too much. That is like a base. So jaw, tip of the jaw basically turns into the ear. So it's way too big of an ear. That as a temp ear. Actually, now that I see that, there would be actually like ear for the ear. Oh, Paso Fluff, thank you for the resub. 25 months running, baby. How's my sussiest baka doing? Alright, so then the ear is, top of the ear is basically the eye line, like the top of your eye. How is everything from the beautiful East? Little Paso Floof. Playing critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV? Really? I hear it's free. It's got a free trial from levels 1 to 60. Probably gonna do this as a... that. So... and that. Includes the award-winning Heaven's Ward expansion. You'll love to see it. You'll love to see it. Your nose is at like the bottom of your ears, so it would be like that. And then that, so goes like sword. Heaven's sword. So the bigger, this is your pro strat here. If you're curious about how art works, the bigger you make the eyes of a character, the cuter they are. It's kind of like why things like cats have really big eyes compared to the rest of their faces. It's because, and we think they're so cute. It's because the larger your eyes are in comparison to your body, or comparison to your face, it actually makes you look cuter. Like for example, usually, like a tomboy character in like an anime has eyes that are like actually smaller than that. It's like, there we go. That's like a tomboy eye, as opposed to like if you have like the romantic shoujo girl, it'd be like, I don't know, something like that, basically. You give them bigger eyes, bigger pupils, and it conveys that tomboy like energy, basically. So like usually we love tomboy GS. We love tomboy GS. They are what makes the world go round. So you'll see that a lot in specifically anime, because anime is one of the most egregious for how it's utilized. So like any character that's meant to be less cute and more edgy is gonna have sharper eyes, as opposed to like that kind of, you know, having large round eyes. They'll usually have like just a little pupil iris kind of thing. Big eyes, ooh, cutie, beholder waifu when? That's the real question. So I've just noticed that I've watched enough rom-coms in my life that I've realized that, and I watched some things talking about like doing the character design of stuff like that, and how you make their eyes bigger and rounder to make them cuter. So that's where his eyes are. Probably actually drop his nose to like here, basically. Let's see some free floating eyes, actually. Made this one too round. Let's have him... Gosh, which direction do we want him to be looking at? So normally they should be looking towards the right. I gotta curve it more if I do it this way, because his other eye is curved. And for mouth, let's see, there's... I'm gonna try something. Something with potential levels of spice. Nope, not that. Give him a big smile. Trying to debate how I want to do the smile action. So go. Probably we're gonna make his nose probably smaller, more angular. Gotta have a chin. Yeah, just kind of bouncing some stuff off my top of my head. Alright, just gonna do this because feel like it is appropriate. So we readjust the nose. Shrink that schnoz. Too much. What happens if I erase those? Okay, so with that, I would need his mouth probably actually be about here. Or not his mouth, but like readjusting like his cheeks kind of thing. So if we went because of the angle his face is at, more of his like chin would be here. So something like that, and then just see something. Curve it. So I probably need more on that side. Okay. You guys get the joy of just listening to me think out loud about how I want stuff to look. Okay. And then get rid of the center thing. So do. Alright, so if I've got his... Hey, Raffle Stomper, welcome, welcome. How you doing tonight? Little dragon boy. Dragon D's nuts, to be exact. Let's go. This. Expand it. I think that would probably be better. Just a bit longer. Alright. So... I'm just trying to look at his face. Look at his cute face, trying to figure out if I'm angling it too much. Or if I want to go like, for example, do... Like, if it needs to be more... Oh, this is looking promising. So I'm trying to think if I do his jaw like this, I can then rotate inside of his mouth. Just change the angling of the mouth itself. There we go. I'm gonna save money to get Hi-Fi Rush. How's the art going? I hear Hi-Fi Rush is very fun. It's not for me because I'm not good at rhythm, which I believe is kind of a fundamental thing you need for that game. But I hear it's very fun, and Corsica is incredibly hot. We all need our tall, Scottish cyborg women. Currently, I'm just trying to get through the initial ideas of how I want this to look. I feel like currently, it just might be because it's not, it just feels too, like, slanted this way. And I want it to be less slanted this way. That's kind of my sentiment about this jawline right now. I'm gonna have to move everything to the side a bit. Select. Okay. Let's go. Shoot. Okay, that should work. I think that's better. I think it's a better setup. Yes. Now it's gotta be dog. Now I feel like it's too far over. Hey Thomas the Tactician, welcome, welcome. You're back from Tonks. How did the Tonks go? Okay, so that goes like right below the eye. I was having to check my own cheek. See how cheeks work. Okay. Let's erase some of these extra lines. Hero Saber, welcome, welcome. Thank you for the raid. Welcome, raiders. How do you all do tonight? How did more session prep go? For those of you who don't know, my name is Obsidia. I'm everybody's favorite Death Knight. And we're just doing some character design art. As I am designing a dragon boy. So, let's go. So how did your stream go? Alright, now they see this as eye does look weird. First, I'm gonna adjust the nosy. Like here. The eye. I think I just gotta redraw the way I did the iris. I think that's what's making it angled weirdly. Revamping your origin system. I have a homebrew world and when you get to choose what nation you come from, you get bonuses because of it. V2 is a two-tiered system that allows immigrant creators to be better represented and lets me balance the system easier. Oh, cool. I was actually thinking of doing like a national background bonus for my homebrew world. But I don't know what it would be yet. So, move this. Here. And then probably gonna collapse this in a bit. Means you can have parents from one nation and grow up in another. Wow, you're getting real into the genealogy there. I actually think I just have to redraw this eye and look at it. Sorry, eye. I have taken away your bending. Right. Like that, I think. Have weaker and stronger effects. Interesting. And go with our strong, masculine. So we're gonna go. Actually, it'd be kind of a curve down. So what are some examples of national bonuses that you give? I like how he's coming together. So we presume that this is gonna continue. And there. What does the dragons have? They've got like that. It's like a something like that. I'd have to look up how dragon eyes look because I do not remember. It's like that Sauron eye thing, so it's like, and then it like gets little in the middle or something. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how dragon eyes look off the top of my head. I'll have to look that up. But I'm also debating if I want to give him, you know, obviously the classic Obsidia. Let's give him some fucking elf ears. Elf ears all day, every day. Is it? You know, I feel bad for Princess Atobe for when I'm gonna give them like these character sheets because all of them, all of them have like elf ears and fangs. Like every character I design. The only one that wouldn't would be like the Hellhound girl, who would just have, you know, the doggo ears. But I'm obsessed. So if I went that. Hellhound girl. Yeah, I was debating about doing a Hellhound girl. Oops, all elf ears. Yep, basically. I've been activated. Thank you, Scarts. Thank you. I can make it go. Even elfier. This isn't even my final elf form. How would it be if I did that? Now I feel like it needs the rounder base. Could almost give it like the goblin, a little bit of goblin fluke with the ears. Some long boy ears. Some real long boy hours. And then I gotta look up how to do that, but then it would be your chin just a little bit above your neck. Be like he's a dude. He gets the thicker, like he gets that himbo neck action. Just all neck. Probably gonna flare that a bit more. That. I gotta erase these random eyes I drew when I was demonstrating cuteness versus tomboy. You know if I make a Hellhound girl, she is 1,000,000% tomboy GF. She's gonna have muscles, she's gonna have big fangs, small irises, and she's gonna have fucking like a big ass rifle or something. Actually, I'll make this bigger. I'm just erasing these random eyes. Go. Huge boobs? Obviously, cute gamer grill. Obviously, huge boobs. Like I would design a girl without them. Power bottom Hellhound when? Oops, that's on erase still. you know, something like that for his neck. Or instead of tomboy, just go with Amazoness. Well, Amazon is very much like, she will be like 8 feet tall, because obviously. Like my plant people are all like 9 foot tall, like green, you know, plant-based Amazonian women. Like Zyra, like imagine a 9 foot tall muscular Zyra, and that's basically how my plant people exist in my world. They're called nightshades, and so everything is just hot, tall, muscular women. The DM's barely concealed fetishes is very much how I run my game. Like, because I wanted to have like kind of like a high collar armor thing that goes up and covers like, you know, part of his setup like that. But do you have long hair and flirty personalities? Yes, for the long hair usually. The Hellhound will probably have short hair for tomboy energy. My flirty personalities, like, I struggle with flirty personalities, mostly, like, I could do sexy, like, where they're conveying, like, a sexual kind of vibe, but, like, not actually flirting with you. It's just, no, I just exist as raw sex the person. But I have trouble doing flirty stuff. So, yeah, you do this, then, like, you know, you basically have, like, the grill. La grill? The hell is that? Do, you know, some, like... something like that, like, giving that high, like, Gorget kind of thing going on. And then... I don't know, like, what would be, aside from his eyes, obviously, I'm not sure what draconic traits to give, like, on his skin or something. Like, if I want to give him, like, some scales, a grill. Cute Gamer Grill is, like, grill activated. Probably do, like, a, you know, back piece kind of thing. Because it's... you know, presumably going around his neck kind of thing. And then... damn, I'd be honored to be an NPC in your campaign sometime. Like, if you watch Ashes of the Last War, like, some of the episodes, like, I don't think I have played a character with as much just raw sexual energy as Cryotrixia. She is a 15-foot-tall Lamia woman. Literally a Lamia mommy. And I always have her acting very, like, predatory in how she is. Like, she's very threatening, but also, like, very sensual is, like, the vibe I give her. 'Cause she's a big snake mom. Say no more. He got his little, like, dragon bits. Something like that kind of thing. I'm already interested. A Mamia. Interesting. I have, you know, I posted her. We're gonna take a brief jump over to the D&D screen so I can show it easier. So give me 1 second. I'll figure out which one is. There we go. There's Lady Cryotrixia. Ba-bam! Drawn by our very own Mommy Mana. When I said that I was commissioning art of a Lamia snake mommy, Mommy Mana jumped on the opportunity to draw MILF Snake. She is a King Cobra Lamia, and her husband was a like diamondback rattlesnake lamia. Put her away and go back. And so her daughter is a combination of cobra and rattlesnake, basically. Is a diamondback rattlesnake and king cobra. Mommy Mana knows what she likes. So, thinking, you know, maybe do some scales or something coming around. But, so we'd go, you know, for just a rough hair thing, it would be... So we're gonna say, like, here is my center point, so... Alright, so the initial... God, he has interesting hair. Alright, so it's like this mixed with a bit of that. I gotta humbly request to be in your campaigns. A king cobra with a tail rattle. Her rattle that the so for her daughter would be a combination of basically king cobra scale pattern, but with the diamondbacks on them, and then she would have a rattle. Cryotrixia has like jewelry as a rattle, but she doesn't actually have a rattle. And she, her chairs are big, basically baskets that she curls up in. And she has, kobold maids as her servants who give her, like, goblets of wine the size of, you know, people's torsos. Because she's 15 feet tall when she's at her full coil. And then that links up to kind of a... Oh no, I gotta make that shorter. It's like a... this... And then I kind of go in with that, and like this, and then it's gonna be like basically layered on that. So you get his behind his ear goes like, I think that's too much hair. Noodle bowl, basically. Does she puff her hair out to make the cobra hood? I didn't actually give her the hood. She's just a sexy lady. I didn't give her the hood action. I just wanted her coloring to be like a cobra, but I didn't actually. Oh, but that would be a good idea when she's like got her bikini and stuff to have like a literal like silk, like a silk veil kind of thing, like a silk hood that she wears over her hair. That would be hot. Like a silk, like gold trimmed, like a hood that she would have, like, you know, kind of around her head. I think that'd be hot. I'll have to think about that in the future. And then it continues going above his ear. So this. Yeah. Just keep going. Go to like here, and then start layering it. So get steps of this. If I erase this, get bigger. Do just that. Kind of goes into this, which then turns into another layer. This is where you get your big sweep. And that turns here, and then you got like a... So it's kind of like a that going on for what like Crom's hair is kind of thing. And then give him a little... kind of hair going down his neck. This is just for my own sake. I'm cleaning this up. Is there a redeem or raffle to become an NPC? Asking for myself. No, not as of yet. I'm still trying to build everything in it, but I'm debating how I want to handle some of the stuff, and it's going to be based on what the party ultimately decides. But I might make it an option that people could do like a redeem to design like a concept and a name for an NPC that I will include as like a background character in one of their adventures, kind of thing. That's one of my ideas. I want to be like a... Yeah, it's too many. Okay. Seeing how far back it goes. Okay. Maybe in future commands I can wiggle my way to be a PC. I am very discriminating in my players because it is nothing against anybody personally. It's just I don't trust people as players until I've seen a lot of them as a player, preferably in a game I've done. So I tend to be very wary about like introducing new people. But you know, we will see how it develops. So I think we got a pretty cute like design going on here so far. We would need to like do the, you know, basically do like his breastplate kind of thing going on. Go do. give him like big like pauldrons, but like let's do like dragon fucking themed pauldrons. Something like that. Or probably for the power of perspective. I actually have to look up how to do this. Because it's like if you've ever played Warhammer Fantasy, like I'm imagining pauldrons kind of like the Dragon Knights of Kalador, but I just don't know how to actually do that. So we're just gonna go with, this is the initial one. So, let's go. Since this is just a design stage, I can be a bit rougher with it. But I was joking with my players because I have this thing that I make every character in my campaigns hot. Like, I don't go out of my way to make anybody ugly. Like, even my villains are incredibly sexy. So it's like, if bad guy, why hot? So I just make everybody hot. So the good guys are hot, the villains are hot. Everybody is attractive in my games, so it is my weakness. I just love pretty people, and so I want to make everybody in my worlds pretty. And you know, give it like, you know, it's a. Oh, that's an idea. Your local Obsidia has an idea, so I am planning, because I know Rosalia wanted to play in a game with me, and so I have been meaning to get around to writing some one-shots. I'm just really bad at writing one-shots, because I always make the games longer than they should be. In God's eyes, everybody is hot. Yep. So, I do want to get on to writing some one-shots. So it'd be probably... So if this is facing away, and it goes along that, it would be... This would probably just look different. I don't know how to make that look different on the other side. But, so I will be open to getting some new people just to, you know, get to play. I know Rosalia wants to do it, so I'm definitely doing it for Rosalia, but I'll see if other people can play as well, aside from my usual crew. Thank you for the resub, Tyler. 1 year of Death Knight action. What an incredible experience. Thank you so much for supporting me for a whole year. I really appreciate it. I'm just gonna do this for my sake right now because I don't know what I want to do yet. So, something like that. Oh, I would love to join your one-shots. Yeah, I feel like the biggest problem with you, Passel, is time zones. Because, yo! Semi-Enigma! Welcome, welcome! Thank you for the raid! Hello, Maddie Steele. We are, how did your stream go? Welcome, welcome! Hello, raiders. For those you don't know, my name's Obsidia. I'm everybody's favorite Death Knight. What is that floating behind my head? It is a bone halo made of the spines of my enemies and those I've hugged a little too tightly. Welcome, welcome. How was Stardew Valley? We are doing character design for an upcoming D&D campaign that I'm running. So, hey Aqua, welcome, welcome. Great to so we are designing a dragon himbo. And so we're just doing the initial character design sketch. So we used I'm using Crom as one of my primary inspirations for like overall look kind of thing. But this character is a dragon wormling who is assuming a human form so he could travel around the world adventuring and fighting for justice and being a shonen protagonist. So he's a total himbo, and he's basically a teenage dragon himbo. Himbo paladin, drugbo, exactly, Tyler. So we're doing the sketches kind of like how I want him to roughly look. So we've just been doing that, just kind of chit-chatting. So yes, this is, I typed it earlier in chat, but his name is, what is it? Lunys Var, was it Var, Ludasil? Varnasorva. Varnasorva. But he goes by Lunys for short. And he is a half mithril dragon, half adamantium dragon who is traveling the world. And because in my homebrew game, dragons are basically living nuclear weapons in the eyes of the industrialized government. And so if you're a draconic citizen of that coalition, they basically assign you a CIA agent who's in charge of monitoring what you're doing and being your caseworker. And so he has an incredibly overworked, basically government agent in charge of keeping track of him and also, like, you know, making sure nothing bad happens to him so that so the government doesn't piss off his parents as he travels around the world fighting for justice. So yes, Semi, if your ideal man is a head empty champion of justice, dragon paladin, then he is your man. How you making me sound weird? I've never played Stardew Valley. I own it, but I never got around to playing it. I'm not good at, like, harvesting, crafting stuff. So I've just never done it, really. But I know a lot of people who really enjoy it. So we previously did, you know, I talked about this last time. The other character that is gonna be so this character is an NPC companion, which basically means that it's a like an NPC. It's basically a DM character that travels around with the party, and they can choose one of the 4 companions they recruit over the course of the campaign to take on any particular adventure. So this is Omega, who is a ancient relic in the sense they're from the early precursor technological empire that colonized this world, and they are a basically nanomachine swarm that takes this humanoid form that the party recruits. And so I wanted to give them this cyberpunk kind of look to make them more thoroughly clash with the traditional, you know, D&D fantasy elements. And so they are a astral hands monk because they transform their body into various, like, weapons and attacks and stuff to attack people. And they're using a homebrew race, which is basically part Warforged, part Plasmoid, to be their little nanomachine self. So this is Omega. This is the non-binary overarching personality identity for the Swarm. The Swarm has 2 other identities, which is Alpha, who is a female personality, and then there is Sigma, because I had to make the joke. There is Sigma, which is a male personality. And so each of them are a part of the greater whole, but can express themselves basically separately if they so desire. So this is another companion that I wrote. But now we are dealing with good old Lunys over here. Thank you for the lurk nocturnal thing. Welcome, welcome. But I'm glad that little Lunys is a part of one of your ideal men, number 56. So yeah, so we're just doing initial character design. My overall thought right now is is like I want him to have basically like his armor to go partially up and cover part of his face, and then I want to look it up to get I want to look up like how they do the shoulder pauldrons for the Dragon Princes of Kaldor from Warhammer, because I want him to have like basically, you know, dragon wing like pauldrons like on his armor as a part of his draconic identity. And then we've got, you know, his rippling, you know, chest plate, breastplate over here. All right, well, thank you for the lurk, Semi, and thank you for the raid. I hope you have a good lurk and some rest and relaxation. We're just vibing to beats by The Last Seahorse. If you type in !BGM in the chat, it will come up. They're an amazing VTuber DJ. And so I'm open to input if people have ideas about like what like draconic traits I should give like on his face, for example, to just, you know, give him some more dragoniness. Like, do I want to do like what Litro has with his model, where you've got basically, you know, some scales along his cheek. You know, like you get the scale motif. I've seen Aura scales. I think Aura is probably too draconic for how they could do it. Like, because I don't want him to be like super over the top in his humanoid form for like draconicness. Because like the Aura do like basically like that kind of thing. Horns maybe? Like how would I do that? Maybe we go like the problem is I don't want him to come off as like a tiefling. I don't want to be too horny. Da 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 da. Alright, next. We're going to go do some Eurobeat and ska. Of course, with The Last Seahorse. With the slammin' beats. This is my favorite of their Eurobeat ones, so this is why I'm doing it. Have some patches of scaly skin. Alright, so like, we do. Something like that. I think that's how Litro does his, basically, is like a little thing around there. You know, and if it did the horns, it'd be... like something like that. What if I... give him a little scales on the cheeks. Something like that. It's pretty cute. And then you could go do on his, like on his neck. Something like that. He's so goddamn cute. I'm loving this design so far. He's just so, like, There is not a single thought in that man's head except adventure. That's what I love about him. Head empty, only adventure. Probably also because I love earrings. Maybe do like a... You know, he's a dragon. I could give him some like big, beautiful... Oh, that would be... That's interesting. Go like Gilgamesh style, where, you know, you get the... Like something like that, like a... Go do a crime as you hand him a quest. Hey, Stark Exchange! Welcome, welcome! Look at how cute that is! A little earring. Ah, I love it. This man is utterly oblivious to the world. So give him a little earring, like a little dragon fang kind of thing going on. You know, get a little scale action going on his cheeks and neck. What if I, you know, did it here? Oh, he just gets cuter by the day! The more draconic traits you give him, the cuter he is. I already love this man. I wrote this character and I'm already in love with him. Plot twist, that earring is one of his baby teeth? Oh my god, that's adorable. Zara, write that down. Write that down, post it in my Discord. I'm gonna copy that for later because that is so damn cute. We got a little baby tooth. There we go. God. Love it. Now, opinion. Yes, Scar, thank you. Art, hey Das Carlo. We're drawing head empty dragon boy. I have to save this. I don't want to be a fool and not save this. Lunys. So, for his armor, what do you guys think, like, for how like, elaborate should I make his armor? Like, obviously, I'm feeling like we're gonna do, like, you know, obviously this, like, kind of a, you know, kind of the steel trimming. And then on the breastplate, awfully wigglier too, I see. We're always wiggling. We always wiggling around. So go like do that, and so like I'm just debating, like, do I want to do the grill to be stylized, like have these be like more like claws, basically? Something like that, like more claw shaped than grill. Do I want like I think one's enough. And then oh, zoomed out. Ah, a little designage there. Scroll down a little bit. so damn cute. It's probably still gonna be that. Ta-da! This across. Two. Man, we are on some real winners here. We are on some real winners here. Alright, and then you go... So harder to draw than I thought it would be to get that curve right. Evil by moonlight, by daylight. A flower wreath for a hat. Oh, that I think it's a little. I think that's not really the motif I would go for this guy. Name Sailor. Oh, Venus. Sailor Mercury. Mars. Sailor Jupiter. Do actually how this would look. Be the very best. One never was. Catch them is my real test. Train them is my cause. Motif is a big word. It's not that big a word. I'm just gonna take a screenshot of this right now to send to my players, so they can see how cute he is. Do current design. Alright. Motif? Wouldn't you say almost 3 syllables is just 2 syllables? In a world we must defend. I'll have to. The problem is I want to do more of this, but I can't figure out what I want to do for some of these design elements. I go little baby tooth. Gosh, that's so cute. Do I want to give him more earrings? Like. How blinged out do I want to make this little dragon? It's nearly 3, only 1. It's only mostly 3. Alright, so if we go through... Because unfortunately we're in clothes in that. Unfortunately we're in clothes. Hey-oh! Go. I think I will make them sharper. I think I will make the grill, like, sharper on it. Could do some extra little spikes, but I think that might be too much. As a dragon myself, I'm having very mommy feels for this precious beanbo. He is absolutely... Hey, Apple Brandy, welcome, welcome. We're just doing some character designage. Trying to scheme how this little dragon himbo is gonna look. Basically, just turned 18 in dragon years, and is now adventuring across the world. So, I think while I'm doing the sketch, I'm gonna also, you know, do kind of my idea of... So, let's go make this a bit bigger. So, I'm imagining, like... I want to figure out how to blend. It's one of the things I want to do, but it'll be kind of like have these accent, like, not quite as obvious as that, but like it's gonna be like purple with like a blend of silver in his hair. Yeah, he's a baby. He's a legal himbo. I debated about that for a moment, and I'm like, you know, in the abundance of caution, I'm gonna make this character 18. That way, I don't have to feel weird if people, you know, if people like my little beanbo. So, let's just say, for example, it would be... Yeah, because I basically want to get like a kind of a silver purple hair. So for the sake of this, I'm just gonna make a new layer, and put that under the sketch. So let's go do.
Just died in your arms tonight. It must have been something you said. I just died in your arms tonight.
Yeah.
I keep on looking for something I can't get. Broken hearts lie all around me, and I don't see an easy way to get out of this.
Just, you know, getting this hair action in.
The curtains are closed, the cat's in the cradle. Who would have thought that a boy like me could come to this? Whoa, I just died in your arms tonight. It must have been something you said. I just died in your arms tonight. Whoa, I just died in your arms tonight. It must have been some kind of kiss. I should have walked away.
Coloring in his silly hair. Some are now less Bobby and more Cougar. My client. And then we'll go with that, like, kind of silverish going on. So it'd be. Just like make the probably the edges of these into this kind of silvery color. But not good. And oh, like that. Hello, Southwestern. Welcome, welcome, Southwestern. Happy to have you. South by Southwestern. And but yeah, that's like kind of what I'm thinking. How do most people say it? But yeah, welcome, happy to have you. Yeah, Semi rated into me, so I'm happy to have you. We're doing D&D character design. This is an NPC companion for an upcoming D&D campaign I am going to be running. And so we're just doing the design elements for him. And so he is a dragon. He is a dragon in humanoid form. And so we're trying to encapsulate aspects of that. I get Southwestern almost. Everyone overlooks the double E. Gotcha. Southwestum. Southwestum? Wastum. Southwastum. That's what it would be. The double E. Southeastum. Pro Artstrom. Yep. Very pro, very art. What color should we make his scales? I'm feeling like maybe a darker purple. So we'd go like oops. Actually, I've got a better idea. So maybe do little purple edges on them and silver cores. I'll go I hate this button that does the auto grab of color, because it makes it very annoying when I accidentally press it because of my grip. But yeah, so he is a head empty dragon himbo, and he is a little paladin trying to travel the world, defeating the strongest foes for justice. Let me get a vibe of how this looks. We color it in. There we go. I was thinking that, and then probably lighten it more to a little sheen. I'm watching a super chill rebuild video and I hear Obsidian's music in the background. You're all this sweet ska and Eurobeat in the background of your chill rebuild video. There we go. I like it. I like it. I'll give him purple eyes. We bopping. Big bop hours. You know, now that I think about it, I probably don't want to give him purple eyes, because purple eyes actually has... There is a whole cultural group in my world that has purple eyes, so probably should do something different. Let's go... I want to do... Red's probably going to be done by somebody else. Pink eyes? Poppin'. Yeah, blue, a great color. I have blue. The problem is I have a character that's like entirely blue. So as much as I love blue, I have to make a character that has a different color palette. I am like contractually obligated to make at least one character that isn't blue. We'll go to black for inner part of his little dragon eyes. That's cute. Like, here's what I'm talking about here for why I can't make his, like, anything really on him blue. And it is because of Pax, or Omega. Like, you know how many blues I used in this character? They are literally all blue. So I was like, I gotta use a different color, man. I made this character that's like 7 different shades of blue. I was thinking black sclera. The problem is, like, I will likely have other characters with black sclera, and I can't have everybody have black sclera. So maybe we'll do a lighter pink. That's too close to his scales. Yeah. Hey, Alex Ray VA, welcome, welcome. We're just doing some character design here. You gave a pink eye. Oh no. It happens to the best of us. Oh. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Get a little pink. Hello, hello. I never read the rule for tag that closely. Jagged eyelids, black iris, bright green iris, gray sclera. Interesting. Let me give that a try. Let me give that a try. So gray. You go. Two. So gray, and then you say bright green. So how does that look on our boy? Yeah, this is on a separate layer. I made a separate layer to do the coloring tests on it. So, and for the reason why we're talking about the black, let me find my original ref image that I drew. So, I drew this as a ref image for a character I was going to play in a Curse of Strahd game. However, I didn't end up playing them. However, I did have some banger art. So, you see that ref image? Well, that ref image got turned into that by Princess Atobe. So, like, these ref images that I'm drawing are ultimately so that I can send them to Princess Atobe to make into headshots for the character. So this is my Shatter Kai Echo Knight. Banger alert! We got a banger alert! So, like, taking that and then making her into this. So she is beautiful and I love her. So the overall plan is, oh, I didn't mean to do that. There we go. Is to turn these things into reference images to send, for instance, to Tobe. Pretty lady, agreed. And then let's do a color testing. So he's just a silly little bean. Yep, that went about how I expected it to go. Alright, so I can't do that. So if I just go like just to give you a sense of skin color. Or obsidian tall. Obsidian. Oh, pretty lady. Gosh. This guy is such a cutie pie. So I guess if we're doing like a bone, probably be like a that. Or like the tooth. No, it should be an ivorier color. Something like that. Oh yeah, I gotta do is his eyebrows. So bam. Little couplage, so we'll do his eyebrows and then I like that I'm doing like all of this color stuff and then I'm gonna have to redraw all of this to, you know, not be a garbage sketch where I was just doing design work. And then this will probably go down to that. Something like that. Doesn't the purple and green complement each other very well? They do. They do. Let me... think about doing that instead of the gray. But I think there might be too much of that color then. Yep. Okay. So if I go through, this is just for me to get a gauge about how this looks. Just kind of clearing up the gate area. There'd be more like kind of claws going on. Kind of like that. Oh yeah, I gotta use this. Do. Yeah, I think we got a good base here. I really do. I think this is the good basic design for this lad. Give him some, actually probably a gold. Alright, let's give him a little gold. Oops, wrong layer. Wrong layer. We've successfully created a bean. This is a real bean ours. Bean detected. I like him. I like him. I think we did a good job. I think we did a good job, everybody. Turn that off. I think we've got a certified bean. We got a bean alert. Bean alert, everybody. Now we're gonna go to... You're a bean? Oh no, you called me out. Call me a bean in my own stream. Alright. Let's go with official bean certification. Thank you, Brainbuster. Officially a certified bean. We're gonna take a break. I love this song. I love Numa Numa. It goes quite hard, as they say. But it is time for another... yes, that is a funny Numa Numa remix. Actually, yeah, we'll do the Numa Numa because it's followed by Dota, which is a song I love. And then we're gonna listen to some Obsidia bangers. Yes, a meme that definitely predates some of chat. What do you guys think the colors of his armor should be? What do you think would be a good color set for him? Hey, Bell Dandy, welcome, welcome. We could go with like gold. I don't like that yellow. Do generic yellow. We could go with like gold as the secondary. But I honestly feel like he should probably have a silver secondary. Like, it should probably be like a silver. Yeah, I want the armor to not be... Like, I don't want him to just have purple armor, basically. This is Romanian, if people didn't know that. Gilgamesh looking armor. Go just like fucking blazing gold for his armor. God, that would be rapidly aging when they realized 2004 is almost 20 years ago. That is correct. I graduated high school in 2004, chat. That gives you an idea of how ancient a being I am. Navy blue? I can't do blue, man. Scar, I think if I give him blue armor, these characters are all gonna be too damn blue. Yamada. So if I go Dota. So like dark blue. Will this work the way I want it to work? Nope, it did not. Frick-a-frack. I actually got to do the edging for it. Chat, I'm going to be doing edging live on stream. Please don't report me to Twitch. And then... So... You... Okay. There we go. I'm not gonna lie, the dark blue does look pretty good. The Dota side. Nothing wrong with a few edges. You know, it's basically making him kind of like a Night Lord Space Marine for for color set. Okay. I think I'm probably gonna like go over and do a second like trim for the tip of this grill, but for now I think it's fine without it. Oops, sorry. So that would be there we go. So that's like doing the dark blue armor. This probably go yellow trim? Let's try yellow. Good old-fashioned yellow. For the yellow trim, probably make it like a gold. But hey, Aaron, welcome, welcome. Yeah, we're doing art practice. We're doing character design. This is my very first boy I've drawn. So this is our dragon boy. I'm off to bed. All right, well, have a good night, Aaron. Thank you for coming by. Okay, now that the Dota song is over, I can officially move on with my life. So the Dota song is a banger, but we're gonna go do some other bangers here. Non-stop banger alert. First of all, we're gonna play a song that I feel like is a very underappreciated genre of what we like to call Indian bagpipe crossover music. It's a fusion, and it is so good. I've posted it in my Discord before, but for those of you who aren't in my Discord or haven't heard the song, this is by the Snake Charmer, and it is a banger alert. Oop, I muted it like a fool. You never thought that like Punjabi bagpipes would be such a good fusion, but it is. Probably just get rid of those yellow ones, keep that one. And yeah, I posted a bunch of her songs in my Discord, like cool music channel, but it is so good. Out here charming snakes, all right? Don't worry, it gets even better, Brainbuster. Even better. This goes real hard. It's, okay, so I'm gonna just post the YouTube link in chat. if you want to go check it out. It is by Snake Charmer, and it is called Celtic Indian Folk Music, Frantic Feathers. Yeah, she's also on Spotify. But like, her thing that she does with her music is Punjabi bagpipe fusion. And it is awesome. Damn it. There's a gap. Find the gap. There we go. That should be fine. Damn it. But yeah, we'll play a couple of her songs because they're all very good. Great to slide into the everything playlist. Fun contrast. Yeah, I fell in love with it. I don't remember how I found it, but like I love it because like I love the way that like Indian music sounds. And so you combine that with like the flair of bagpipes. So this is Foggy Dew. This is her cover of Foggy Dew, which is a very famous Irish revolutionary song. To a city fair road There we go. Pass me by. Hey Lena, welcome. We're doing character design for D&D. This is a dragon boy. If you guys like art, you should check out Lena. Mila is a very good little fox artist VTuber. She did a commission of mine for one of my D&D characters as a headshot. And it's super cool. So you should go check her out and throw money at her. She's a good artist. Basically. Please don't throw money at me. So, did you just say throw money at you? Yeah, that was a direct quote. But yeah, so Mila, this character he is a wormling dragon who is running around as basically a Goku Oh, I'm sorry your internet cut out. We're listening to Punjabi bagpipe music by the Snake Charmer. Campaign may or may not uncover a magical extending staff after he debuts. But yeah, so he's basically like Goku, but like actually trying to do good and justice in the world instead of just trying to defeat the strongest foes he can. But he also wants to defeat the strongest foes he can. Right. Let's go. Got a commercial. I was worried it was looking like Adam West Batman at first, but the additional yellow helps considerably. He is just a simple paladin of adventuring head empty. Probably go for, I don't know, probably do a different color for the subs here. Maybe... Oh gosh, darn it, there's a gap. Like that. Just to have a contrast with like the wing color, basically. Making a Japanese anime version? Sure. I don't know what kind of weapon I want him to use yet, to be honest. I was thinking, like, maybe give him, like a long spear, like Dragoon-style spear. Probably using halberd stats, but have it be just a really long spear instead of an actual halberd. And so maybe doing a spear, maybe doing what's it called? I'm trying to think of what would be extra fancy, funny weapons that aren't like normal. I don't want him to just be a sword and shield paladin, because that's boring. I want him to be wacky. So maybe like a big spear. Not like a true halberd. I'd be using halberd stats on it, but I'd probably make it an actual spear. Great sword with a spear length handle? Yeah, basically. What about a sword? Oh, louder than the audio? Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, that's like, making it like a big spear sword. I'm just really proud that you've been drawing a lot lately. Aw, keep up with your dedication. Need digital tips? I really appreciate that, Mila. I'm really happy I started doing this. I used to tell my therapist all the time how much I wanted to do art, but like I didn't know how to start or what to do or anything. So, you know, I watched a bunch of videos that were recommended to me by an artist to like help get familiarity and just start drawing and stuff. And it's been so much fun. I love being able to do this and you know, see how it grows kind of thing. And it's a really rewarding feeling when you can like use art that you drew as a ref image to like an actual artist to like make look even better. And one day I hope to make them look better as well. And I will be the one drawing the big titty waifus in 4K for people to like on the internet. But yeah, so I really appreciate it, Mila. I am still No, I turned it on, Brainbuster. I believe I turned it on. But I still have a lot to learn about how to do stuff in Clip Studio Paint, like how to actually shade appropriately, as opposed to the way I've been doing it. But like, it's one of those things where that requires me to Google it, and B, to know what I'm doing, and I don't know either of those things. The goal to make the boba. You know how I feel about Big Booba. Like, look at my gosh darn freaking robot girl. Look at them titties. That is Big Booba. That is Big Booba. That's what I'm working towards here, is to consistently draw Big Booba. This is literally the first male character I've ever drawn, is this picture. Learn like driving, so a lot of people get really discouraged not being talented, but it's all just practice and studying to do so, since you can learn anything on the internet with a single YouTube video. I appreciate it. Yeah, so it's been a process. It's one of those things, it's hard to Grabs tape measure, are you sure about that? It's one of those things, it's hard to look up certain stuff because it's like I don't know what's the question to ask to get the answer. And so, yeah, it's like, I don't know, like how to shade using Clip Studio Paint. Like I have a brush. I downloaded a bunch of like custom brushes. Like, what is it? Is the shading? Yeah, I have no idea what this does. I think it like, zoom it in. So yeah, I don't know. It's a rough shading brush I got off of somebody. And I don't know what makes it special. And then I've got the blur effect, which I don't know how to do. Oh, wow, that's neat. Blur it. Blur it. I think you're supposed to use it for like clothes or something. I don't know. But yeah, you get the idea. Don't draw guys with big boobs, but I personally think that could change. I liked when you have the art where it's like the girl looking at the guy, or looking at the girl's boobs, like side-eye, but it's just a guy with huge pecs. Like Percival from Fate. You have a B-movie brush? What does that even mean? Oh, by the way, hi JC. Yeah, I turned off the RR thing because I was focusing on doing art. And when I'm doing art, I don't like to do the very long discussion things. I'd rather just do things that are much easier for me to just say, basically. But I don't know about... yeah, I don't know if I want to do this, like, blue and gold armor yet. I still need to decide on that. But I think it's a good base to start with. Just thinking. But I think this is probably a pretty good place to end it for tonight, because we did some good progress. I'm going to be working on this off-stream. I did this over here? Yeah, I did over here. So I'm going to be working on this off-stream to, like, flesh it out more. Turning this into, like, an actual, more refined piece, which is gonna be like me doing some line artage, basically. But this did a good job of getting down, like, basic design elements. And I love the baby tooth idea for his earring. Goth Mommy Boy, OC, you'll love to see it. You'll love to see it. But yeah, if you haven't done so already, please give me a follow here on Twitch. Give me a sub over on YouTube. Give me a follow on Twitter, and you can join my Discord, the Eternal Citadel, and be a part of my incredible community. I want you all to know you're all beautiful, amazing, and valid people, and I hope you enjoy spending your nights with me nearly as much as I enjoy spending them with you. And never forget the most important part, which is that the world is better having you in it. This is a certified good bean concept. And so that will be our streams for the week. There will be no D&D on Monday. We have some player unavailability, so I'll be doing something, probably a stream of like Darktide or Wildermyth, and then do the other stream as Darktide or Wildermyth. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys hanging out. I hope you had a lot of funaroo. Let us go do that. Okay, let us go find somebody to raid. Did her... How's he doing? Dude, he's been gaming for a very long time. For 6.5 hours. You'd love to see it. Yeah, let's go find... Sorry, I'm just looking at my list of friends. Oh yeah, we'll raid Kiri. That was who I wanted to raid last time. Let's raid Kiri the Goblin. She's playing Darkest Dungeon. She's a very good artist and very good goblin. And you know how I feel about goblins. I love the little girls. Kiri the Goblin. Okay, she's playing Darkest Dungeon. She did a really cute Darkest Dungeon picture of herself recently. So let's go send her lots of love. I hope you all have a wonderful night, and most importantly, the sweetest of dreams. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!